What's going on, everyone? I am extremely excited today. As I said yesterday with my video of some must-try lists, we've got Rex Green, and I cannot wait to go wine and hopefully just slap down some opponents with a massive new card from set 4 that works pretty nicely in this deck. Probably the only deck that's really worth playing it in. But before we dive into the list and talk about a few things with my good old friend Rex Green, I want to say a big thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. We are playing a set 4 tournament right now with everyone running Lake Country as their base, and it has been super fun. I also have a TCG player link in the description down below for any Star Wars Limited cards you want to pick up. But Rex Green today, guys, I had a ton of fun with this guy from set 3, and we have a lot of similarities from set 3 Rex Green. But the key difference with set 4 is that we get access to Unity of Purpose. I spoke about this yesterday, but this is for each friendly unit with a different name, you give each unit you control +1/+1 for this phase. The whole deck is built around turn 4 or 5, we drop a Unity of Purpose and we win the game. That is the goal. How do we achieve that goal? Well, first off, we have Rex's Deploy. He comes down with a Clone Trooper token, and you get the Droid Manufactory tokens. So you have 4 total units just in your Captain Rex Deploy. Alongside that, we have a ton of 1-drops in the deck, including 332nd Stalwart, which becomes a 2/3, Bale, which pumps our other ones, Clone Deserter, which is a 2/3, Maz Kanata, which grows, R2, which is just naturally tough body, Vanguard Infantry, which if it dies, we don't care about, a couple of 2-drops to really curve out in 1-drop, 1-drop into 2-drop, 1-drop on the second turn. We also have some things that either buff up or just synergize really well with our previous played units. Things like Inspiring Mentor and Yularen, Mentor passing some experience around, Yularen just giving an extra toughness to each one of them. Akbar as removal, coming down and oftentimes hitting for 3 or 4. And then as we get later on, we have units that create multiple units. Veteran Fleet Officer comes as a 2/1 and an X-Wing token. Poe Dameron comes down and you create an X-Wing token. So you get a 3/3 and a 2/2. Shaak Ti attack, you get a Clone Trooper token. And Draven comes down, creates an X-Wing token, and on attack creates an X-Wing token. A little bit of backup in some Space Sentinels to protect our X-Wings or just prevent some just overrunning from opponents' space decks. That could be pretty helpful. And we have a couple of events. Command, obviously just an absurd card. Removal, ramp, and potentially experience for your units. And new wing reinforcements. If we do happen to get late in the game, it's really sweet to grab like Echo, Battlefield Marine, Akbar, and just completely destroy your opponent. But we're going to see what we could do with this list. I am expecting to get absolutely demolished in some games, and for other games to drop a Unity of Purpose and get like +9/+9 and do some of the most dumb things you probably have ever seen. That is the goal of this deck. Hopefully we can have a good time. Let's dive into some matches. All right, into our game number 1, and we've got a fun one here because we have the new... Wait, oh, I have to resource here. I got distracted. Hold on, let me, we got Unity of Purpose. We've got an Akbar. I think I resource probably the command to just keep the Unity of Purpose. Anyways, we were playing on the brand new Karabast here for our first match. This is going to be pretty cool. I wanted to just give this a shot. I think it'll be cool just to see the new mechanics and things like that. I think it's got a lot to work on for sure, but it is definitely in a decent spot right now. I'm going to resource this Unity of Purpose, which I don't think you should do. I'm going to do it here because I think that with Asajj, we just want to deploy a bunch of different units, and then we can curve that into command next turn and kind of do something pretty absurd. So the goal here is to... Oh, they're going to Power of the Dark Side. Yeah, that isn't really going to work all that well for my opponent. Let's go Battlefield Marine, and then let's go Bail Organa. So I could have had a couple different options, and now that I think about it, wait, how? Oh, there we go. There's the +3. I should have probably just allowed myself to create a Captain Rex token and then kept the Unity of Purpose, but I was trying to focus on kind of curving out because usually these Asajj decks are going to play a couple of space units, get some early value at Tarkin Town, and then play things like a little bit of controlling aspects with the what's it called? Power the Dark Sides and things like that. Gonna go and resource this U-Wing reinforcement. The new UI is really sweet, by the way. I just think it's a little bit laggy right now, and it's got some kinks to, figure out. Like, for example, our cards don't actually show the full base. It's cut off at the right-hand side. So I think there's a few things to work out, but it definitely looks really, really sweet. I am 100% on board with the developers kind of trying to do something pretty cool here. Let's go ahead and just take the damage to our base. I will follow that up with, I think, just an attack with our clone deserter here. Get in for 2, get that restore 1, see what they're going to do with their 4 resources. We're going to be deploying Rex this turn because we're going to ramp, and it looks like they are going to put down a Tarkin, which makes a good amount of sense. Let's go ahead and put an experience token on the Battlefield Marine. And then we'll see what my opponent decides to do. They're going to go ahead and, ooh, yep, they went ahead and did the exact thing that I wanted them to do. Give 2 experience tokens to a unit and put it into play as a resource. And now, I mean, yeah, they could target down the Battlefield Marine, but guess what? It's not going to kill the Battlefield Marine, which is exactly what I'm looking for, because I'm just trying to get in as much damage as possible. They're going to go ahead and put a top target on Battlefield Marine. Sure. We're going to go ahead and get in for 6. Top target is good, but top target also is only going to go ahead and heal 4, which is going to be awesome. We are going to create a clone trooper token and then create 2 battle droid tokens, which is going to be an absolute insane board. Imagine if we have Unity of Purpose right here. That would have been absolutely sweet. Let's pass. Oh my gosh, we just drew it. What an insane draw. I should not have resources early. I should have used the Captain Rex ability just to create a 2/2 over saving like the Battlefield Marine or that type of situation. But oh my gosh, this is exactly what I was hoping for. Unity of Purpose is going to be dropped here, and we're going to get probably what? I mean, +6/+6 is going to be the maximum, right? Because the 2 battle droids have the same name, so Unity of Purpose is going to get +6/+6. I'm assuming they're going to go ahead and kill my Battlefield Marine. Now, it's important to note that when Rex comes down, he gives all troopers +0/+1, so Battlefield Marine does become a 7 toughness unit, which means Tarkin doesn't actually kill it. And now, oh my gosh, here comes Unity of Purpose. Look at all those units, guys. Literally game 1. It is absolutely insane. That was pretty fun. I mean, I can't really add. I can't really ask for a better start to a video than that. I mean, that was about as picture perfect as it could have possibly have gone. Like, it was about as good as it gets. I don't know what to say, guys. That was absolutely sweet. Good stuff. Into game number 2. Let me know what you all think about the new Carabas versus Petronaki, which is the one we're using here, and which one you think is easier to watch. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm going to be returning to Petronaki here on game number 2, just because I feel like the UI is just a little bit cleaner right now. It might be a little bit harder to see the cards, which I definitely could see as an argument. Well, something to consider, and definitely something to look out for in terms of what you all like versus don't like. Gonna go ahead and go with a clone deserter as well as that R2 here on turn 1. We have a veteran fleet officer, which I do like. I also like this Yularen. I'm worried about Sabine, though. I think we're like gonna lose this matchup 9 times out of 10. The problem with this is that with ECL, it can really devastate our forces, and that can be really brutal. We do have a couple of really nice cards here, though. They're gonna go Fleet Lieutenant here and just drop in a decent sized attack. Do I want to go with Yularen, or do I just want to go with a veteran fleet officer? I think I just want to go ahead and go with a veteran fleet officer and get 2 different units down. They're going to get in a nice attack here. They definitely should use the Sabine ability. I think I'm going to go ahead and... Do I want to get an attack here? Ugh, pretty tricky. I could let them draw a card by killing off their fleet lieutenant. Maybe that's the play I go. Maybe I just have to... kill off my opponent's units and trade off some of my early ones. I think that would be the option. Let's go ahead and bottom that Yularen. Got a General Draven. Not exactly the card I wanted to see here, but it can be okay. Let's resource that veteran fleet officer. I think I'm going to go with a Poe Dameron this turn. We'll see if they have something like a wing leader here. That would be pretty brutal for us to deal with. maybe we got something. I'm just worried about the Wrecker and the Poe ECL. That's really what's gonna do us in. But maybe we can get there. ECL. Ooh, they're gonna ECL Sabine's Masterpiece, huh? Okay, so they're going to use the ECL early. I think there is definitely some merit to that. We're going to get in for 2 here. We're going to play out this Poe Dameron. They're going to go in and deal damage. We're going to get in. There's a command here. That could be useful. That could be definitely useful. Let's go with Poe Dameron here. Put this as a unit. And I don't want to attach. So we have... Ooh, there's the Rebel Assault. They're going to get in for a massive chunk here. What an amazing curve. That was definitely a very solid ECL usage. We're going to go ahead and, well, pick up some new cards here. Let's go ahead and just start off with a command. We're going to go 2 experience, friendly unit. We're going to give 2 experience to the Poe Dameron. We're going to go ahead and kill off that A-Wing. This does put us in a reasonably decent position. Now they have to choose which one to attack with. I think here you just attack in with this Sabine's Masterpiece, because you do get to go ahead and finish off the R2. Or, yeah, undo that. Or you could deal 4 to the base. I was like, that was a mistake. They knew it. I knew it. Darksaber. Oh, they got Darksaber? Yeah, well, then our game's probably over regardless. It's going to finish off the Sabine's Masterpiece. Darksaber is really, really brutal here. We have to trade off our entire board to get rid of that. Yeah, not going to be looking all that great for us here. Darksaber is pretty good. We got a veteran fleet officer. I'm going to put that on the bottom here. I'm going to deploy Rex, get a couple of things down. And if I draw Unity... Okay. +3/+3. Is that enough? I don't believe so. They could also have just like anything really and finish this off. There's a For a Cause. As I said, that was going to be really tough to beat. Sabine Green, as I said, guys, it's one of the best decks in the format. We were going to get overrun with a 24 HP base. Unity of Purpose, we've gotten 5, 10, 8, so 18 damage. It would have been literal perfect. If all they had was like a Poe Dameron here and not the For a Cause, we would have had, right. Let me just do the math again. 5, 10, 14, 18. That would have literally been the perfect amount of HP to deal. Unity of Purpose actually would have gotten there if they did not have a For a Cause or any sort of direct damage. Which is honestly something that we could have gotten away with, right? Not too rare. That Darksaber really changed the name of the game for them, because that gave them an immediate advantage by not being able to just kill their unit firsthand. So really, really sweet stuff. But actually quite close to that Unity of Purpose draw. All right, and we're going into a very, very different direction here with round number, is this round number 3? I don't even remember at this point, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even remember. Round number 3, I believe. We got a command here, which looks pretty good. Do I want to resource that over the Yularen? I think I actually want to resource the Yularen. I have a better chance of picking up something pretty nice here. Ooh, Akbar is actually pretty good. Let's go ahead and play the 332nd Stalwart and then just drop a pass here. There's most likely they're just going to hit the 332nd Stalwart. Yep, we're going to play an Akbar, kill the Queel, like pretty standard stuff. They're going to go Yularen. They're going to choose Sentinel, huh? Okay. That's pretty cool. We got a Shock T. I'll put that on the bottom. Don't really want to be seeing that. We have the Unity of Purpose and the command draw. Double Unity of Purpose. Do I actually want the second Unity of Purpose? I think I do. I think I just want to keep all the potential options I got here. Let's go command here, and we're going to go 2 experience and into play as a resource. We're going to give 2 experience to the R2. And I think we're just going to finish off this Escort Skiff. Escort Skiff, really interesting situation we got going on from this Yularen here. Let's go ahead and deploy Rex. That's a lot of units. We're going to go ahead and attack. Maz Kanata here. We'll put that on the bottom. We'll attack in with the Rex, and we will attack into their base for 1. Let's pass. Got ourselves a Bright Hope and a 332nd Stalwart. I do like the 332nd Stalwart. This Unity of Purpose right now is going to be +5/+5 for the entire team, which is going to finish out the game. I am sure that they are not going to allow us to do that. They'll probably remove a unit, or maybe they'll put up a Sentinel. So they're going to have something here, but I don't know if it's going to be good enough to get through this Unity of Purpose, guys. I mean, it is tough to beat. They got the blue leader. Sure, ambush, kill off our Rex if you want. Yeah, they're going to kill off Rex. We're going to go Unity of Purpose, and that's going to really, really make it tough. Because what we're going to do here is just smack in with our Battle Droid token. And then I think we're just going to go ahead and smack into the base for just this massive chunk of damage here. I suppose I'll take out that Yularen here. We have a Podameron. We'll put that on bottom, I suppose, and then get in for 7. I think it's better to take out the Yularen there over just getting in for another 5 points, just in case they had another vehicle to play as a Sentinel. Sure, they got an Ambusher. We'll go 332nd Stalwart. We'll go ahead and play another Unity of Purpose. And that's probably going to be game, right? Yep. Attack in, and attack in. I mean, cool stuff from our opponent, but it wasn't really particularly close with the double Unity of Purpose draw. They were doing some cool stuff with, the Yularen out on the battlefield, a bunch of ambushers, trying to go a little bit more value route. But I mean, Yularen literally all did was apply, like gave them Sentinel. Like they played a 4/4 Sentinel, right? That's what they did. They played a 1/5 and then they played a 4/4 Sentinel. So really not extremely strong. The blue leader coming down and ambushing and then being a Sentinel afterwards did okay, prevented a single attack. And Yularen gained 5 HP. So there's some cool things Yularen did do there, which was kind of fun, but still, I mean, if this was any other, like Lando did literally nothing this game, guys. I am sorry for your Lando enjoyers out there, but he did literally nothing this whole game. Didn't use his action, didn't get to flip, and yeah, pretty sweet stuff. Double Unity of Purpose. I love to see it. All right, to our next hand here. It's not bad, but I think we could go double 1-drop here up against Darth Vader. We're going to be really happy about it. And fortunately for us, we did happen to go ahead and draw into a double 1-drop hand, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Now they're going to have also a double 1-drop hand for themselves. That's just kind of what Darth Vader is going to be doing. Ooh, there's a command here. I do like that one. We're going to go Veteran Fleet Officer here. They're going to attack in, and this is going to be a pretty interesting situation. We're going to see who is able to close out the game quicker. The command's going to be really, really awesome in this spot, because we're going to be able to knock out one of their bigger units probably. Going to get in for 2 here. They're going to play a Death Space Skirmisher. Sure, we're going to play a Veteran Fleet Officer. And then we're going to go ahead and claim initiative here. Create a token. Absolutely. Makes a lot of sense. Couple of 1-drops here. Not bad, not bad. I think in this spot, what I will do is just go with command to go ahead and knock out friendly unit deals damage and put it into play as a resource. So we'll do 2 damage to that unit, get a resource. We're going to be able to deploy Rex this turn. And I think we just go into the base, right? We just keep going into the base and do some massive work there. I think we're going to win that game if we just get down Captain Rex and then play a Unity of Purpose next turn. Remember, we have 1, 2, Frozen and Carbonite here. Interesting. I mean, I think that's super weak from our opponent. Like that as their play is super weak. It doesn't reduce the Unity of Purpose, which is really what we're looking for. But let's say they take out this X-Wing, which doesn't look like they're actually going to be doing. Wingman Victor 3. Okay, they're going to go ahead and get some experience down. Sure. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. 7 if the X-Wing lives, but 6 units is going to be just absolutely ridiculous. I'm actually going to claim initiative here because nothing else matters. Just getting down this Unity of Purpose is going to win us the game. Check this bad boy out, guys. Unity of Purpose in our hand. I just want to drop it. I just see the look on our opponent's face. I mean, we're going to be close to death, but Unity of Purpose comes down, and I mean, look at our units. They are... Oh my gosh. They're +7 right now. Ooh. I love this deck, guys. It is so ridiculously fun. They said lol in the chat, and I mean, guys, what else can you do? I mean, this is absolutely sweet to see. Oh my gosh. I mean, it was close, right? They were gonna get in for just below lethal. They would have been 1 point of damage short, and well, we got there before they did. Sweet, sweet stuff. I love this deck, guys. Into our next matchup, I'm gonna mulligan this one. Pretty weak hand, to be honest. Into a significantly better hand. One thing that I did want to mention is with these decks that are going a lot into space, this deck actually does race oftentimes a lot harder, which is really good and allows us to really kind of dwarf our opponent's options. They're actually going to go with a Sabine here, which is really unfortunate, to be honest. You don't oftentimes see that with the Luke decks, but hey, you know, that does happen. We happen to draw ourselves an Admiral Ackbar, which is kind of the perfect card, because no matter what they do, if they attack the Bale, that's fine. We get the Admiral Ackbar kill. If they attack the Clone Deserter, we get the Admiral Ackbar kill. So we're going to go Admiral Ackbar, finish off that Sabine, which is a really nice situation for us. And I mean, now we are in just a way better position than them. We're going to be able to go command here. We can't go ahead and finish off this red 3, but we don't really care about that. We're just going to go ahead and put some experience on and ramp. We're not going to hit probably the Unity of Purpose. I mean, we could get Unity of Purpose next turn. We're going to have a ton of units on the battlefield, which is going to be really nice, and 2 restore 1s. One of the nice things about this deck is there's a lot of like incidental value, a lot of restore 1s here. We also have a lot of card filtering with like R2s and things like that, which is really, really nice. Here we're going to go command. We're going to go 2 experience plus into play as an event. And I think we're just going to go ahead and actually finish off their units. They're going to go and hit that Clone Deserter. That's actually totally fine. They may have a Daring Raid. I could definitely see a Daring Raid coming out, so I'm going to attack with that first. I will finish off their Fleet Lieutenant, and I will deploy Rex here and get in for 2. Ooh, another command here. Okay, I could go command plus Inspiring Mentor, which I think I will do in this spot. Command plus Inspiring Mentor looks pretty good. I could Frisk, huh? Defeat and upgrade? Sure, let's go Inspiring Mentor after they've played their upgrade. What? Open fire. I think I will just go ahead and attack in with the Captain Rex, put an experience on the Ackbar. Really odd situation for my opponent on the opposing side of the battlefield, to be honest. Okay, they're going to go for that Rex. I mean, if they kill it, that's totally fine with me. We're going to go Bright Hope and return that Clone Deserter just to draw an extra card. Another Clone Deserter looks pretty good as well. We are in a really good spot. Yeah, Daring Raid, sure. We're going to put an experience token on this Bright Hope. Did we just draw a card? No, we didn't. It doesn't matter. The game's so over here. Our opponent is trying to like 1-for-1 our tokens. Not that they had many options, but my goodness, was that not close. We didn't even draw the Unity of Purpose. We just went wide. And that's what I was saying is like some of these space decks, even though they start with a Sabine, which is a great card, they did not have anything besides their space unit plus an upgrade. So pretty, and a couple of like removal. I mean, I guess they had the Fleet Lieutenant too. So they did have like a ground curve, right? They went turn 1 Sabine, turn 2 Red 3, turn 3 Fleet Lieutenant, which is pretty good. But we just kept going, right? Ackbar, really excellent in that spot. Really excellent. All right, and next we've got ourselves a matchup up against the Odd Han. And I got a pretty nice hand here. I think the Odd Han is a pretty sweet deck, don't get me wrong, but I think we're going to be able to do some work. Double Clone Deserter is definitely a solid start. They're going to have the Cartel Turncoat and the Wolfpack Escort, so really good start for them as well. We've got a Vanguard Infantry. We'll go to resource one of the Yularians here. And I think we're just going to go ahead and play out. I mean, they could have a Waylay here. My guess is that they'll go ahead and use the Han Solo action. The question is, do I want to risk not getting in some damage to potentially restore a little bit? Or I just want to play out the Yularen here first. I think because all of them have Restore, I'm just going to get in for 2 as my immediate play. Okay, they have the Shuttle to Darium. That means I'm going to go ahead and play out the Yularen next. They probably will get an attack in. We'll get in a second attack. That's going to go ahead and... Ooh, they've got an R2 here, huh? Okay, we'll pass here. If they don't attack, I'm preserving more HP than what they could have done. So, ooh, that's a lot of 1-drops. Okay. I mean, we're gonna take advantage of it. We're gonna take advantage of it for sure. It's gonna be a close game because they got a really aggressive start. Double 1-drop here, and the R2 and the Shuttle to Darium is gonna go out and give some odd costs. Now they definitely should have used the Han action to get an extra point of damage. Oh. Our opponent's playing our odd Han list, so awesome to see. Awesome to see. Which means we know exactly what's in this list then. There's the Han action. They're going to reveal the Y-Wing, which doesn't actually give them a pump at all, which is nice for us. We would have loved to see like a command here. They also should have probably attacked with this first to go ahead and give an experience token to one of these other units. There's a 330-second Stalwart. No Unity of Purpose on the next turn. We're going to go with another 330-second Stalwart. There's a Foresight. So they've emptied their hand. We're going to go ahead and create a clone. I mean, so have we. But Unity of Purpose is sitting here with no excellent value right at this moment. Let's go ahead and claim initiative. They're trying to ready up some resources, which could be next turn. They're going to choose a card name off Foresight. They should be choosing the... no, they discarded that. The Republic Y-Wing. So now they're going to name Millennium Falcon. Ooh, Bright Hope's actually a really solid draw. Yeah, Bright Hope is pretty nice here. Bright Hope's going to really soak up a lot of damage. So I think I'm going to immediately just get an attack in with a Clone Deserter. And then we're going to bounce that Clone Deserter because they're going to attack in. No matter what they attack with, it's going to be a 3-powered unit. They're going to reveal. What do they get? They revealed Concord Dawn. Okay. So we're going to go Bright Hope, return this, draw an extra card. That's going to be a pretty decent sized Sentinel here. They can deploy Han, though, to kind of try to cut through that. So we're going to get in for 2. Restore 1 again. Pretty weak attacks here, of course, but Shuttle to Darium going to go ahead and attack. Going to pump this one up. Makes reasonable sense. They're going to attack in with this and then attack it with Wolfpack Escort, which actually works pretty nicely for us because you're my only hope. Oh, what do they have on top? They have a Han Solo on top. Really nice from them. I mean, this is going to be really close because they could have a lot of cards that they draw here that's going to win them the game. But I mean, look at our board. Look at our board. I mean, we don't win the game actually because they get the initiative and Bright Hope. Bright Hope, does that do it? Does they attack Plo Koon? Oh no, that does not work. Plo Koon was not the place to go here for my opponent. They definitely should have attacked with a Cartel Turncoat. And if we didn't draw the Bright Hope, then they would have just immediately been able to finish off the game. But now they have no cards in hand. They have no resource. We go Unity of Purpose, and every single one of my units is lethal now. Really close game, by the way. Really, really close game. Kind of an awkward hand from us. And I think my opponent... They're just trying out the deck, which is awesome. I love it, guys. I love when I come across people that are playing or watching the videos. So huge shout out to Jedi here. There was a few times where I think if they attacked with the shuttle first, and maybe just gotten a couple points of damage, like if they had literal 1 more point of damage, they could have immediately attacked with a Cartel Turncoat and finish off the game. I think they missed an attack in with the Han trigger on turn 2. And then they might have missed damage in with the experience token on another unit on like turn 3. But outside of that, everything else pretty makes a lot of sense. I think the Bright Hope would have actually gotten us the win here. Let's think about this. So if they attack it with a Cartel Turncoat, which is what I would do immediately, right? Just get in as much damage as possible. You play the Bright Hope, then you have to attack it with 2 different units. And then we get in 1, 2. No, we would have lost still. Yeah, so the Plo Koon really did them in here at the final round. So really close game though. Really, really close game. The You're My Only Hope with the Han Solo really put it into overcharge there at the end. All right, next hand, we actually took a mulligan here. We're going to resource this Vanguard Infantry and the Shock T. I've been pretty unimpressed with Shock T, to be honest. We're just going to start off with a Battlefield Marine up against this double yellow Han Solo deck. No plays on turn 1. Definitely like that. And we did pick up a Unity of Purpose, which is definitely something that I want to be seeing. Let's go attack with the Battlefield Marine, and then let's go ahead and play our Yularen. Pass. Got ourselves an Akbar, got ourselves a Bright Hope, both of which look pretty good. The command probably comes down here. Honestly, just ramping command into getting experience tokens or whatever is just so strong. And a Unity of Purpose the following turn is just so nasty. I wouldn't be surprised if they start putting a bunch of pilots on their Millennium Falcon. There goes the Mandalorian itself. I think what we'll do is probably just get in an attack here for 2. They're going to attack in for 7. I am going to give 2 experience. I was worried that they're going to play another upgrade on the Millennium Falcon to exhaust my Yularen. Sure, they're going to play a new adventure. Like, that doesn't really do anything. Like, yeah, we get rid of the experience tokens, but that's fine. We're going to get Captain Rex down. They're going to be able to go Unity of Purpose here. New adventure is a weird one, huh? I did not expect that one. They basically use 2 resources. They could have played like Clear the Field. Spark of Rebellion. Oh, okay, so they got the Unity of Purpose. Not bad. They're going to go ahead and take that away from me. In that case, I think I'm just going to play a Bright Hope here. No bounce. And then they can go ahead and knock out that Bright Hope. But we're not going to take any damage here, which is going to be really nice. Key Spark of Rebellion. Really nice turn there for the Spark of Rebellion, I'd say. But we're still in a really nice position here because we're going to get in a lot of damage. We're going to go with the R2, put that on the bottom, hopefully draw into another. But we don't. We don't draw into another Unity of Purpose. They can play a Mandalorian. Okay, they got Cunning, which is obviously a great card. Does that win them the game? Oh, they're going to bounce and exhaust? I think they should go +4/+0. Because they get in for 11, +4, plus the Mandalorian hit. And we can't really do anything about that. I think that was definitely an option where they could have just won the game there. Let's get in with the Clone Trooper. Ooh, and they have the Haunt. Oh, well, then and they should put it on the Millennium Falcon just to get in more damage. The Unity of Purpose steal there was like absolutely critical. Let's get in another 1 here. They claim initiative. It doesn't really matter. Because if they don't, and then they deploy Mando, or if we claim initiative, let's say we deployed Mando, it would have been pretty brutal for us. We have to claim initiative. We don't have anything. They definitely outpaced us here at the end with just having bigger units, right? Just too many actions to take. And the Mandalorian, if you wanted to have a deck that was able to deal with a bunch of ground units, that's the deck right there. Exhaust galore. And that's exactly what you're expecting, right? Really, really awesome deck, especially with double yellow Mando. That's going to do some work. And that Spark Rebellion was absolutely clutch. Well played for my opponent to wait for that turn where they're expecting the Unity of Purpose to grab that, right? Absolutely great. All right, into our final game. I have been having a ton of fun, but the fun's got to stop at some point, right? I think. We've been playing really quick games with the Rex Green deck. So we're going to get another one. Usually I do like 7 games. We got 8 games here. Up against the Piet Blue definitely, I think could have some cards that we're really good against, right? Like Power of the Dark Side is going to be pretty bad. Merciless Contest is going to be pretty bad. They could also just go big capital ship, and we are sitting pretty bad, unless we draw that Unity of Purpose. So we'll see. 332nd Stalwart and Bail Organa. Not exactly the most aggressive start, but can do some work for sure. The Veteran Fleet Officer doesn't look too bad. Let's go 332nd Stalwart, and let's see what my opponent's got. Maybe they have a Pershing here. Prepare for Takeoff turn 1. Okay, Prepare for Takeoff is less scary for our deck, right? I think we would much rather see that over like a Piet or something. Now, Veteran Fleet Officer, I kept that over the Bright Hope because it's just a next turn drop, right? Like I really want that turn 2 play. I don't know if I'm going to be guaranteeing it, but I would prefer not to have a space unit up against Piet because they're going to have things like our Quinton's Assault Cruiser and things like that, which I don't really want to see. R2 is a pretty nice draw. Do I want to keep the Ewing Reinforcement is the question. I don't think I need to because I have the Rex action. And yeah, they're going to go ahead and make us defeat a unit, which is totally fine, right? Power of the Dark Side does not really do a whole lot up against us when we have Veteran Fleet Officers and going wide like this. Let's go ahead and give an experience token to the Veteran Fleet Officer and let's pass. Got ourselves a command, which is pretty nice here as well. We are going to use the command here just to deploy a bunch of units. They're going to go ahead and play a capital ship, the MC-30. Makes sense. Let's go with 2 experience. We're going to give 2 experience to the Veteran Fleet Officer. And then we'll deploy Rex, hopefully draw ourselves a Unity of Purpose, and close out the game next turn. So we're going to deploy. We're going to go to give an experience over to Rex, attack, and then pass. Got ourselves the Bright Hope, which isn't too bad. Not too bad. We're going to go Bright Hope and Battlefield Marine. Don't mind that one at all. They're going to go ahead and overwhelm through my X-Wing probably, or maybe they'll have a capital ship to play here on this turn. Ooh, Overwhelming Barrage is pretty good here. It is definitely a card you're going to want to be seeing here in this matchup. They're going to try to knock out as many units as possible, which makes sense, I think. Taking out the Bail, the Battle Droids, it's really good for them, right? This is not the best curve they could have. Like, obviously, you want to unit turn 1 into something maybe a little bit different on turn 2, but having a big unit into Overwhelming Barrage is where you want to be here with my opponent's deck here. Activate the Piet. But we're just getting in a lot of damage. No Unity of Purpose in this game. Just straight up attacks, right? Just straight up attacks. Get in for 3. Play out a Battlefield Marine and a Bright Hope here. Pass. And then, we've got a Command and an Inspiring Mentor. We're going to keep the Ewing Reinforcements just for the sake of being able to play it in one game, right? Like, I just want to see it, you know? I just want to see it in play. I just want to play it. Sometimes you just got to play a card, guys. You just got to do it, right? That's just what happens. We'll see my opponent deploys here on turn 1. Obviously, another Overwhelming Barrage is still pretty good for them. Not that I think it would save them, but it would be pretty decent. They're going to say GG. We're going to go Ewing Reinforcement just because I really want to see what we can grab. Okay. Let's go General Draven here, and we will go R2 Clone Deserter, which would create a bunch of units. Very nice. Doesn't really change a whole lot, but it's really cool to see that we've generated that many units. I mean, look at that top 7, right? We could have picked like Akbar, right? If we grabbed Akbar, we absolutely could have finished off their Piet. But I wanted to grab as many units as we possibly could, right? Just for the most fun. Really sweet deck, guys. I mean, those were some quick games, and we did some work. Let's talk about Rex Green. All right, so what did we learn with Rex Green? Well, it was an absolute blast. And we had, especially those early matches, we did the thing. Drop, couple of plays. Turn 2, drop another couple of plays. Turn 3, command, turn for a Unity of Purpose, smack, win. That was the clock. Like, that was like clockwork. Game 1. And then there was a few other games. I don't remember I remember game 1 being absolutely nasty as a first game showcase. Granted, our opponent was on the Asajj red and didn't have a way to target down my unit. It just worked poorly for them, but great for us, right? Into a couple other games that did work really well. We saw some games that were a little bit more grind, and we got to see the value of like Akbar, where they killed off our turn 1 play, but they left the other one because we played 2. We got the Akbar value. We got to see a couple cards that just did some work. Things like Inspiring Mentor coming in and doing some nice work. Bright Hope just stalling out the game a little bit, and then just deploying a bunch of units every single time. Obviously, the deck seems really, really good when you go with the command in a Unity of Purpose turn. Being able to either kill off an opponent unit or pump up one of your own units and ramp into Rex into Unity of Purpose is really fast. It's actually a really fast curve, and a lot of decks cannot beat it. But it's, you know, a combination of 3 copies of a card and another 3 copies of a card and trying to make sure that that functions, right? Obviously, against the controlling decks, this deck is disgusting. The reason being is you just have so many small units that not one particular unit really matters. And so when you're getting to the Rex turn and you've got 2 Battle Drake tokens, a Clone Trooper token, Captain Rex, any one of those things alongside like Inspiring Mentor or Unity of Purpose can really get out of hand for your opponent, because a lot of controlling decks are, you know, kill one thing, kill another thing. So we saw like Piet really struggled. Overwhelming Barrage is like a great spot or a great thing to have in that spot, but that's only one card amongst many, right? So a lot of slower mid-range / controlling decks really struggle. And the other thing is when you're playing a really low to the curve, really low to the ground deck like Captain Rex, you're going to find that you're really outpacing a lot of these space decks. Now, we did get demolished by that Mandalorian player. I mean, it was reasonably close, but I think they played very, very well. The nice Sparker value at the right turn for Unity of Purpose was critical. We didn't really have another way around that. Like, we kind of needed to go that direction. Like, if we kept any of the other cards that we had, we really just needed to end the game, because I was worried my opponent with that Millennium Falcon. And Millennium Falcon gets out of hand so quickly. And they didn't have a turn 1 play. But that is what Mandalorian does, where it just exhausts all your units, especially with a cunning turn. They could have gone with just killing us really straight up instead of even disrupting that much, because all you have to do is disrupt a little bit and then put on the pressure and it's over for us. Mando against these ground-based decks, super nasty. I mean, also space-based decks, but just multiple unit-based decks that are really relying on a bunch of units to get in damage. When you have cards like Cunning or Mandalorian as a unit, or just upgrades to stall the damage just enough for you to win the game, absolutely nasty. And we also got crushed by Sabine. I think the Sabine was actually not as far off that I thought. Like, it looked pretty one-sided because my opponent was sitting at a low HP, but without, you know, having that direct damage that they did, getting in with a massive Unity of Purpose would have closed out the game. And that is the beauty of Rex Green. It was super fun to play this deck, guys. Honestly, one of my favorite lists from set 4 so far. Definitely give it a shot. Please give it a shot. I don't think it's like exceptional. It's one of those decks that I would bring to a Friday night and just wreck my friends one time and then just never bring it back. But if you do get the command into Unity of Purpose, it is a quite fantastic curve. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you all enjoyed. I'll see you all for a video.